Thank you. This is our 7th grade, day 2 band. We meet every other day. We have 2 bands. The other group just got done with their concert, and that opening song that we played is Fireburst Fanfare. I always tell them to play it with fire. I love that. That's one of my favorite middle-level fanfares written. It's very complex, lots of stuff going on, and tons of energy. So the next song that we're going to play slows things down a little bit, but it also has some really cool, powerful stuff. This is from the movie Brave. It's just a lot more fun for them to play. But one of the things that we do every day when we start our rehearsal is we do a scale, long notes, working our way to faster, and then we do chorales, which is a slow, expressive, like playing all these beautiful harmonies. And we have a book that we use called Sound Innovations. And I said to the kids, I would really like to play like 3 of these chorales for your parents, because they hear us play all this big, powerful music, but they don't hear us on what we work on to make sure that you're learning how to be a versatile player, which I always tell them, make sure that we're playing beautiful music beautifully, and make sure you're playing powerful music powerfully. And so we're gonna just do 3 of our short chorales for you. They're just like 8 measures each, and I'll just go from one into the next. And you can just get an idea of some of the versatility that we work on in our rehearsals, because we always talk about sound concept. From the first day that these kids start We don't allow them to blast, we don't allow them to honk on their instruments. It has to sound the way it's supposed to sound. A saxophone should sound like a good sounding saxophone, for example. And we work on that constantly. And so these sound innovation chorales really help reinforce that in the second year of playing. So here are 3 of our chorales. All right, so the next 3 songs, like I said, that you're going to hear are nothing like that. And that's why we wanted to make sure that we demonstrate that to you. The next 3 songs that we're going to play, starting with this next song called Junk Funk, are all about being loud and having fun. And so this is a piece called Junk Funk, and it uses a style of street musicianship where, if a drummer wants to make some money in New York City, they don't want to carry a big drum set around because it's hard to carry around, and then if they get arrested for playing without a permit, they lose their drum set. This way, if they get stopped for playing where they're not supposed to, they just lose some 5-gallon buckets, right? And they can make a lot of money playing good street musicians can. So this is a piece, we've been doing this for years, and it seems like every year kids come up to me, do we get to play Junk Funk this year? Because they maybe heard about it, or they had a brother or sister that played it. And I always assure them, yes, we will play Junk Funk. And over the years, we've gone through many of these orange buckets. They break them, and I always tell them that's a good thing. You're playing with lots of energy, right? But not tonight, don't break them, because we have a concert. Okay. And then we have the big garbage cans that are our bass drums and lots of fun stuff. So this is kind of a percussion feature, but the band also has an awesome part. They get to do some cheers and yelling, so you'll hear lots of interaction between the Woodlands brass and the percussion. So this is Junk Funk. There's a lot to that bucket part. When the kids first look at the music and there's all these different pitches and rhythms and they're doing different things with their right hand than they are with their left, they're kind of overwhelmed by it. And but then they start to get the hang of it. So they're playing about 3 or 4 different pitches on the buckets, and they'll find like a spot on the drum, a spot on the bucket that maybe plays a little bit lower, and then as they move to the edge, it's a little higher, and then you have a coffee can for the higher pitches. Sometimes you heard them go to the rim. All of that it's a pretty detailed part and kind of an advanced part that they have to play, so it's a lot of fun. The next song that we're going to do, we all know the rock band Queen. This is a medley, the best of Queen, and 3 of these most famous pieces that they did. This is the best of Queen. That's one of those songs that it floats between whether we do that with 7th grade or 8th grade. It's generally a little bit more, especially the second half of that song at an 8th grade level. But if we have a 7th grade band who's really doing well, we give it to them, and this year's group did a great job on it, so that is the best of Queen. Before we go to our last song, I just have some things I need to make sure some people I need to thank. So first of all, thank you parents for supporting your kids, getting them to band, keeping them going in band. You know, we have such a great high school band program. Make sure you get your kids going all the way through high school. It's so much fun. It's a great program. We're so fortunate to have it. So thank you for your support of your kids. I'd like to thank Jessica Moats, who we team teach this group together. I lead the 7th grade band, and she pulls kids' sections out, one section at a time, and works on them on the finer details of some of the technical things that we have to do in here. And then in 8th grade band, she leads the 8th grade band, and I pull out sections and do the same thing. So it's a really great team approach. So thank you to Mrs. Moats. And I'd also like to thank our custodians. Today and every day, there are 2,000 kids that eat lunch right here where we're sitting, and it does not look anything like what it does look like right now. Today, I was coming back to get the stage set for tonight, and they had pulled all the tables and chairs, and so it was just the floor with all the food and wrappers, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of mess. Believe me, they're messier here than they are at your house. But the custodians just do an amazing job polishing this up, making it appear like a performance space, and we're really happy with this. It's got a great sound in here and everything else too. So thank you to our custodial staff. Finally, I'd like to thank our music staff. You heard me mention the high school band program, and all of our programs, choir, orchestra, and everything at the high school are such amazing quality. Encourage your kids to stick with it, continue into high school. I'd also like to thank our elementary music teachers for giving these kids a great musical foundation in K through 4 before they even get to Forestview. And of course, we have our 5th grade classroom music here too. So thank you to all of those teachers. So the next song that we're going to play is called Louie Louie, and I call this the Louie Louie Project. Okay, and this has been going on for 20 years. The song is much older than that, as you guys know. I tell the kids the story that at one point when Louie Louie first came out, it was banned by Congress. Did you know that? They thought it was like deviant, and they were trying to play it backwards and listen for messages, and then they found out there was nothing, and it was just a bunch of guys that were just having fun in their garage playing a song where you couldn't understand the words. But it's got a really cool beat to it. And so what happened was years ago, my first year in Brainerd, I had a couple kids say to me, "Can we do any drum set solos during the concert?" I said, "Yeah, I'll find a place for it." So we made a break in the middle of the song, and in that first year we had 3 kids that did drum set solos. And they would, one would play a little bit, and the second one, and the third one, and then the band came back in. And I thought, this is really cool. We should open this up to more than just drummers, because there's a lot of kids who, when they heard that, they went, "I wish I played drums," right? And so every year since then, we open this up to any student in here. I offer to teach them how to play drum set. And we do it during power time, and they come down. It was right after our last concert where I saw you guys. We had them come down to the band room, and like 70 kids show up, right? And they're like, "This is gonna be awesome, I'm gonna be a rock star." And then they sit down at the drum set and they go, "This is really hard." And then, but some of the kids stick with it, and they stay determined, and they figure it out. But it is very hard. It's got a lot to it. There's a lot of coordination and musical ability that needs to go into it. So what we do is we teach them how to play a rock beat and a fill. And so you're going to hear kids going back and forth. And now I forget, in this group, what are we up to? What number are you? 8. I think we have 8 in this group. I think we had like 10 or 12 in the other group. But yeah, so it's there's quite a few kids that are doing it in 7th grade overall. So they do a rock beat and they do a fill. That's the bare minimum. Now some of the kids that are more experienced or work more on it, they're doing 2 rock beats and fills, or 3, or 4, or 5, and it's a lot of fun. So you're going to hear the progression. We start off with the kids who don't have, maybe they don't have any drum set at home at all, and then we work our way to the kids that have more experience at home and playing, and it's just super fun. So this is a long tradition. It's been a lot of fun working with this year's group, and so this is Louie Louie. Oh, there's also a little trumpet feature too. Trumpets are going to stand up, and they have this solo completely memorized. No, they might. I don't know. Some of them do. I told them I wanted it memorized, so we'll see. If they look down, they didn't have it memorized, but that's okay. So this is like the guitar solo in Louie Louie. All right, so here we go. This is Louie Louie. Thanks for coming to our concert. Thanks for supporting our kids. And here we go. Guys, are you ready? Yeah. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and...
We're out.